Lally-ho, friends, and welcome to episode 12 of Kupo Quest. How is everybody today? Are you guys ready for some D&D?
We're ready.
Oh, is that what we're playing?
The enthusiasm of my players is what makes me want to do this every single week. So, quick recap of where we are, because a lot of stuff has happened. Our Fourgiven, the new Warriors of Light, have left the town of Cornelia on their way to the imperial capital of Lindblum. Along the way, they've stopped in Altair, only to find that, due to the lack of wind from some decisions made in the past, an airship has crashed and set basically half the town on fire. But our heroes here jumped to the rescue right away without a second thought and began trying everything they could to save the town. In the process, the Emperor's son, Firion, who they were traveling with, seemed to almost die from smoke inhalation that looked like it was causing some heart failure or something, and they were given a choice. Would they save him, or would they try something that the cleric of Altair Minwu was proposing that might save the town? Little iffy on that one. He said it might not work. It would have political ramifications, but they did choose to save Firion and basically rounded up everyone and got them out of town, defending the fleeing refugees of Altair from a fire elemental that formed itself from the flames as they fled the town. And
okay, so it was an elemental, not a construct.
It was an elemental, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Happy I did not use the spell I was gonna use.
Yes. Retroactive answer to your question. It was an elemental, yes.
Okay.
So they managed to get out of town. Before they left, Nozak ran into the little girl Nellie, whose father he had tried to save and was unsuccessful. And he took her to see and say goodbye to her father and basically told her that he was a hero. And then
did the shit out of it.
Then we came back, and he came back and joined the group, and then we're gonna pick up there as the group is heading out with all of the refugees from Altair. The entire town cleared out, those that have survived, with Firion leading the way. Sarah, the Queen of Cornelia, now a little, let's say, off her game, as she seems to be blaming herself for a lot of what's happened. As we pick up there, a little ways down the road, as you guys were making camp for the night, I believe at the end of last episode, Izzy, you said you wanted to have a little chat with Minwu or somebody. So, yeah, the floor is yours.
Yeah. While everyone else is resting, Izzy is going to go to Minwu and ask if they could speak in private for a second.
As you do that, he's kind of just like trying to like bandage up and resplint his foot, and he looks around at just this sea of people around you, and he just says, as private as we can get here. I don't think anyone's necessarily listening right now.
Is he sitting?
He is, yes.
Okay, cool. So Izzy will sit next to him, and he will look at Minwu, and he is just going to spend about the next 45 minutes basically just explaining their whole situation that they're in. How they woke up in Cornelia, how someone was taking, how a monster, I think it was, who's the monster? Hold on.
Tiamat, the one stealing the...
Tiamat.
Yeah, Tiamat.
Yeah, how Tiamat was siphoning off the winds, how we stopped them, the shit with the temple, basically our plan, which is to gain as much knowledge as possible to attempt to find the mother crystal and possibly restart the other ones.
Okay.
And I think he ends it while looking at him by saying, don't blame my associates. It's my fault. If I had made a better decision, they wouldn't have had to make the risks they did, specifically Ava, to save my life. They were given the option to come to you, but they, for whatever reason, saw me as important. So they chose to do what was quickest. I can't atone for the damage caused by my inability to have foresight, but I can promise you that after we're done with this mission, I will do everything I can to help you all out. Please don't blame them for my inadequacies in combat.
He just, once you finishes, he sits and he looks at you for just a couple seconds. And it's interesting because you have noticed that sometimes when you launch into things, some people around you tend to tune out. When Izzy goes off on his really in-depth stories, he loses a couple people, and Nozak specifically comes to mind. Minwoo has
love you.
attentively just listened to you for the entire time you've been talking. And when you finish, there's this moment to where he's just taking it in. And he looks around and finds your compatriots. To be honest, I don't know what I would have done in that situation if given the choice. Nor could you have known what would have happened from that. I'm not gonna lie, the price that we're paying for those choices is quite high. But all we can do is march forward. Remember those we've lost. Save those we can. Don't blame yourself for this, though. I mean, you were dead.
I appreciate you trying to help me feel better. Now, what I came to ask you, more specifically, is about two things. I was told that you are very good at magic, and as someone who is also very skilled as I can be, at least, I know a lot about the world around me through the study of magic. So I was wondering if you did as well. Is there anything you could tell me about where the Mother Crystal might be? When I tried looking for it, even at one of the most impressive libraries on this side of Fantasia, all I found were a bunch of margins that led to folklore, that simply just led to more papers written and even more ancient lore. I know it's in a cave somewhere, but I couldn't possibly know where it is. Is there any way you can help us find it when you have more energy? We're desperate for any help you could possibly give us.
I can try to assist, but I will... The Mother Crystal's an interesting topic. One I haven't really heard about in years. It falls into the realm of legend, almost. And many historians even debate whether or not it's real. The elemental crystals we know of, they're physical, we can see them. They're present, they play a huge part in our lives. The Empire itself harnesses the power of those crystals for some of their magitech. Those we know of. The Mother Crystal is one of those things that falls more into the realm of religion, and specifically religions that aren't practiced within the Empire, because it's pretty much antithesis to the Bahamut lore. I can do what I can. There may not be information in Lindblum that we can find, but we'll look. And honestly, your best bet for finding something like that is to seek out someone or something that was around at the time of its formation. And the only thing I can think of are the other icons.
Oh, that makes sense. Yes, I am still listening to you.
Pause. Game out of the game. Yes, Nozak, I know you were around for a long time. But
I was just making a stupid face. I was just making a stupid joke. Something that was around long enough. Like, hey.
I don't think you're that old.
What are you talking about? Nozak's only 18.
100 years old.
Right.
What?
Now,
hold on. Sorry, I have specific colors for specific types of notes.
Oh, that's so cute.
He will say, if you had asked me 3 days ago, I would have told you the icons were dead. Only remnants left were the crystals they left behind. They've had no physical manifestation in 2,000 years. But if what you're telling me is true, then there is a portion of their physical being that still lingers here on this plane, tied to the crystals. or they at least have an ability to manifest themselves. Actually makes me wonder if what I was about to attempt would have actually worked.
And what would that have been?
He looks around for a minute and just kind of at all the people. I was about to attempt the first summoning in over 2,000 years.
I think him being as learned as he is, I think for a moment he in his head he's like, a little bit glad that I listened to Nozak.
He stops for a second. I don't know if it would have worked, but at that point we had no other options. I know the risks. Likely would have had to sacrifice myself as a vessel. That's if that would have even worked. The plan was to call on Leviathan, or at least call on the power of the crystal to see if I could manifest some form of the icon. But it's probably for the best.
Well, if it makes you feel better, you asked us, and Nozak seems to have come up with a more proactive solution that seems to have had a higher chance of success.
Yeah.
But
I think you're right.
Another question. I'm looking for an item, and Sarah told me, again, you're very smart, so I was wondering if you had any information. If not, that's fine. I'll continue to do research myself. But my mentor, he asked me to find a staff of hers that's been lost. Do you know of any legendary staffs? Specifically one that belonged to Mistress Matoya.
Matoya's old staff, huh? That's what she's got you looking for?
Yes. She taught me magic and took care of me, so the least I can do is this mission for her.
I know something. I can't tell you,
say,
but I know something.
As you say.
She'd kill me.
Why is that?
Matoya and I are old friends. And if I were to interfere with this, I don't think she would quite view your training as complete. I'll offer some advice. How's that?
Yes. I am not writing in a notebook in character.
You are on the right path. Keep your ears open. Keep your mind open. And just know that things are normally in the last place you look.
Yeah, yes, hear, feel thing. She told me the same thing before I left. That did not help as much as I thought it would.
Well,
he sighs.
There's a reason it's a quest. You'll understand why.
I don't believe you, but thank you for your help regardless.
But I will say, hold on. I get the feeling you don't seem to see in yourself what these others do. What I can see after just a few minutes with you. You don't give yourself enough credit. There's a reason your comrades risk the world to bring you back. I think you owe it to them to at least try to see what they see in yourself. You owe it to these people.
It's difficult for me to see what I can't perceive with my eyes or through knowledge. Things that are more imaginative qualities, such as personality, things you care about. All those are just just chemicals in your brain telling you need to feel that way.
Sure.
So when I don't feel that way, it tells me that my brain doesn't perceive those things as real.
Well,
I'm not sure why they made that risk, but I've been trying to figure it out. It's just difficult for me to find an answer that makes logical sense.
Well, the one thing you'll learn, especially dealing with magic as you do, is sometimes the illogical is what works the best. It's also another reason I can't help you with Matoya's quest for you. It's just something you have to do on your own.
All right. Thank you so much for your help.
And if she asks, that's exactly what I told you.
That laugh wasn't canon. Izzy nods and says, all right. Well, thank you for what you could tell me. You rest, and I'll make sure to check on these people for a bit. You just rest for about an hour or 3. You can take me from these duties after you've gotten at least an hour of sleep. And only if you do that.
Fine. Even I'm starting to admit that I could use a little shut-eye. My leg's killing me.
Yeah, and Izzy is going to just very quickly go over to the other people. More specifically, people who have children and are injured, and help them out first before going down the lines of importance.
Okay.
And he probably won't go to bed until Minwoo actually gets some rest.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
You know what? I just might do that.
Do it. That'd be great. I'd really appreciate it.
That is, ooh, cool. That's a 16.
So, as you start making your way through the crowd, you will notice that the children themselves seem to be in good health. Almost all of the children, if not all the children, were out of the town. A lot of those with children, too, seem to be okay, because likely they were with them. You do find one father that's just him. It's him and his wife and their son. He seems like he could use a little bit of help. One thing you do notice, though, is there seems to be a small group of about 3 or 4 kids that don't really seem to have any parents with them. But you do notice that they're all kind of gathered around, and it seems like Ava's telling them stories, and seems to be just kind of entertaining the children that seem lost.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. If that's the case, he's just going to continue for the night.
Okay. Nozak, Grunthor, Ava, anything that you want to do before you turn in for the night?
Not really. I feel like Nozak's just going to be with Ava, just with the kids, making sure everyone's doing okay.
Okay.
I don't think Nozak's going to leave Nelly. So whenever she crashes, he's probably just going to curl up with her.
As you're sitting, you go over and you're kind of sitting. They've made a small campfire. They've actually made several small campfires because there's a lot of people. One campfire's not going to cut it.
There's like 300 of us inside.
But you find one that's near Ava, and you sit down, and Nelly sits down next to you, and you're just kind of listening to Ava. What kind of stories would you tell these children?
Oh man.
Yeah, Ava, tell us a story.
What kind of stories would I tell these children?
It's time for the DM to throw you all on the spot for once.
I would tell a story of a heroic knight, a person with no name that nobody knew of, coming from a foreign land, doing some cool heroic shit, saving a town from a invasion of something. I would tell a story of dragons and chimeras flying over and hoarding treasures and sanctuaries and just some crazy goofy stuff.
Give me a performance check with advantage, because it's kids, and that was a pretty good story. So give me a performance check with advantage.
Disappointed you didn't say you're talking about dragons and a couple of dungeons.
Hey, natural 20.
Natural 20.
Nice!
These children are just enraptured with your story. like with the dramatic beats, they are hanging on every word. And you start to feel empowered by this, and you get even more dramatic. You soon notice that you have a smaller crowd of even adults that have kind of gathered around that just want to hear your story. And as you continue and as you build, you hear gasps and laughs in the correct moments, and you are just nailing this storytelling. Nozak, next to you, you do hear Nellie giggle for the first time since you've met her. It's a soft, light giggle, and like afterwards, she seems to get quiet again, almost like she feels bad for having laughed. But a little bit later, another one sleeks out as Ava tells a particularly funny joke. But after a while, you notice that she has kind of gone limp next to you with her little head on your shoulder, and you can just feel that she's drifted off to sleep. So, Grunthor. I said that like I had something sinister for you, but I don't. I'm just going to ask you what you're doing.
I'm eating children. I mean, I'm...
That's where they went.
I'm using whatever medicine I can help to help alleviate any pains, make people comfortable, chit-chat with some of the kids if they come up to me and ask me any questions. Just basically make myself known that if they need something, I will help them.
Okay, give me a medicine check, just general medicine check, just to see, how you're doing throughout the crowd.
Oh, it was on a 20 and then moved.
They're all on a 20. Everything you roll is a 20. 11. That's 11. Fine. It was just a baseline 10. It's most of the things at this point are just minor nicks and cuts that you're able to deal with. Some of the other things are out of your purview. I mean, some of the more injured, it's basically waiting for the clerics to regroup to be able to deal with some of that stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, you're providing a lot of aid. What you'll notice as you're kind of helping, you find as you're just kind of walking through the crowd, another campfire that's kind of separated off from some of the other groups, and Furion and Sarah are sitting there together quietly, with their backs to the group as the revelry's going on. As Ava is doing an exceptional job of just lightening the mood, of taking what is the darkest day of these people's lives and giving them some kind of just bright, just distraction at the end of that day. These two seem to be off in their own little world, and you can see that Furion is just kind of holding Sarah, and she seems like she might be sobbing, and but they're just having kind of a quiet moment to themselves away from everybody. But you notice that.
Is there a tent that they brought along with them or anything like that?
They would have one. However, they have not pitched it. You're not sure why, but they do have one, and it's still rolled up in the back of the wagon they were dragging along, or the carriage, whatever I called it before.
Once I made sure that like the refugees are comfortable enough and such, I'm going to. I don't think she would want me to do that. I'm just going to kind of stand guard, so that they can have their privacy. Like if anyone, like especially the adults or the kind of leadership of the town, starts heading that way, I'll be like, no, not right now.
Give me a perception check.
Question.
Yes.
I know. We forget about him when we play the game, and like no one ever uses him except for speedruns. But like, where did Kamari go?
All right, dude, you jumped the gun because perception check, Grunthor. As you're looking around, just on the other side from where you're standing, kind of off in the dark, on the other side of the campfire, your eyes lock with Kamari. Nozak just ruined the little thing for me. 10 was the DC just to notice them. As your eyes kind of lock, he's just kind of got his arms crossed, and it's inaudible because he's so far away, but he just very subtly lifts his head up and gives a kind of seeing what you're doing.
Kind of do the same like 180 degrees away, like turned away the other way. And I look at him, I go, kind of to the other side.
Perfect. Yes, that was Kamari. You did lose track of him in Altair, and nobody thought to ask about him, so there.
I didn't bother because I assumed that he would have he was stuck at the town hall with Sarah and that at one stage, and then all the commotion.
Forgot
happened.
about him.
Yeah.
If that
He
man
made
can
it.
survive a demon dog invasion, he can survive fire.
Yeah. He made it out. Don't worry about Kamari.
We don't use him and we forget him that he even exists in 10, but damn, I didn't think I'd forget about him in a campaign.
I didn't go into Final Fantasy XIV and actually design Kamari to kill him after one episode, okay? Off screen, okay? That's not happening.
Just find some well done Hrothgar meat.
Right. So, the night drags on, and at this point, most of the people have gone off to bed. Ava, you're sitting near the campfire, and you have basically the children have kind of just fallen asleep around you. You've played with them until the wee hours of the morning, and at this point, you're not even sure what time it is. You look over, and Nozak, I'm assuming you're asleep. You like sleep, right?
Yeah, I am out cold.
You
so
see
hard.
Nozak with this small girl just kind of cuddled up, which I don't think you know who it is. I don't think anyone knows but Nozak, right? If I recall.
Yeah, actually. Damn.
So you don't really know what's going on there. But you find your mind just kind of drifting back to the events of the day, the events of everything leading up to this point, and just the events of the temple. As you're just kind of staring off and watching the fire as it's just crackling, popping. You can feel the heat from it, from where you're sitting, and it kind of reminds you of the more intense heat of the town and all of that it entails. And you feel something stirring inside you, and you realize that your ring on your finger is warm to the touch as you're just kind of fiddling with it. What are you doing?
I will. Okay, my ring is warm. Fire. Fire's pretty warm. I will dump some water out onto the ground and then drop my ring into it from a water skin that I have.
Okay. As you do that, as you put your ring into it, nothing happens. A little splash just onto the ground.
Yep.
It's not hot. It's not that hot. It's not steaming or anything like that. But you can feel something drawing your gaze back towards the flames. You can just... There's something kind of stirring inside of you. And you feel the urge to touch it. It's almost an uncontrollable urge. You can resist it. It is not uncontrollable, but
don't mind if I do.
Yeah.
As you lean
As
forward,
we found our stamina.
as you lean forward and you put your hand into the fire, it passes into it, and you don't feel the heat. And you turn your hand over a little bit, and you notice that the fire kind of jumps around your hand, and now it's just kind of resting in your palm. As you stare at it, it's almost mesmerizing. The tiny pops and crackles of a miniature fire in your hand. What are you doing with it?
Can I throw it up and catch it? Can I juggle it?
Go for it. Give me a dexterity check. Just to see how you can juggle.
No, all right, fair.
12.
12.
You throw it up, but it hasn't formed into any kind of a ball, so it kind of goes up and just starts to dissipate. And you try to catch it, and you catch 2 little pieces that become small flames in your hand, as the others just kind of drop back to the ground, either like back into the fire itself, or just off to the side, and just starts to burn just a little bit of the grass nearby.
Oh. Quickly put out that little fire from snuff that out real quick. I'll just try and just fuck with it. See if I can do what I did with the water earlier. Just move it around, extinguish it, relight it.
Okay. As you put your hand out, what are you trying to make it do?
I will make it expand.
Okay.
Oh
As
my
you
God.
put your hand out and just kind of hold it and focus your energy into your desire and your consciousness and your will, the fire starts to get bigger and bigger. At this point, it's gone from kind of a campfire to one of those more larger bonfires, and people that are still awake from across the little camp you have, the large camp you have started to look in this direction as the fire is just kind of.
I'll set it back to a regular fire.
Just slowly goes back to what it was. Your connection to the elements seems to be expanding. As you have taken on the charge of Garuda, you definitely have an affinity for the wind element. But you've studied elements in the past. It's part of your studying as a monk, and you are more in tune now, having been more in direct contact with an elemental. You now have the Control Flames cantrip. So,
fuck yes. Let's go.
It's not on your D&D Beyond character yet. I will do the homebrew magic I need to get that there before next session.
No worries.
But you do now have that, in addition to the fire stuff as part of the Way of the Four Elements subclass you already have. So
beautiful. Oh my God.
That's sick.
So
that was really cool.
What do you do? Do you want to? You can keep playing with the fire, or you can turn around and go to bed. That's up to you.
Well, how late is it? Is Sarah awake and Furion? Are they still having their moment?
Do you want to go looking for them? You wouldn't be able to see them from where you are, but if you want to go look for them, you can.
Why not? Yeah. I'll do a quick little cruising.
Sure. It's not hard to find them, so I'm not going to make you roll for it. But once you do finally locate them, Furion is still awake. He's kind of just staring into the fire. They're still off on their own. Sarah has drifted off to sleep. As you approach, you do see Grunthor kind of standing guard. So as you're walking up, you're basically walking towards Grunthor. But essentially, Sarah has kind of laid down, and she's just got her head in Furion's lap, and he's just kind of got his arm on her and just seems to be lost in thought, staring into the fire.
Yeah. All right, I'll try again in the morning.
I'm curious if Grunthor just tries to automatically stop you. I'm actually curious, Grunthor. What do you do when you see Ava coming at you?
I was going to say, oh, Ava, like, how can I help you? The queen is asleep, so I suggest please let her get her rest. She's tapped for tonight.
All right, that's fine. I can talk to her in the morning. No worries. I just had an idea for her, but it's not important. Just go lay down wherever the hell I set up my tent at, or my bedroll.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone wants to do tonight before you would go to sleep?
I think eventually I'm going to go over to Kamari and kind of set up a watch between him and I for the Queen and Furion. Like, if he wants to lay down for 4 hours, and then I'll take over, watch, and then swap type thing.
Yeah, sound good. Oh
my God,
that's
Kamari, stop flirting with him. Jesus.
We lay down together. That wasn't in character. He's not that forward.
Hey.
Okay.
I was going to say, Grunthor's eyebrows go wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I'm not saying he's not interested. I'm just saying he's not that forward.
The head nod earlier was, how you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing over there? Get over here.
What's up, baby?
Yeah, easy enough to do. Here's the thing. I imagine you're both going to volunteer to take first watch. Rock, paper, scissors? All right, let's do it. We'll just play rock, paper, scissors.
Paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Let's do it. Let's just play. I don't know if it's going to work with the delay. Rock, paper, scissors,
One,
go.
2, 3.
Okay.
What do you have?
I had scissors.
Okay. One, two, three, go.
All right. Paper covers rock. Kamari gets first one. So,
Oh my god.
that worked better than I expected it to be honest.
That was pretty decently smooth. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Fucking rock, paper, scissors for D&D first watch. Jesus Christ.
So you reluctantly go and take your nap. So, but
Actually, I'll probably bed down right where I'm at.
so after the game, you're just like, okay, and then you just lay down right there.
Pull out my bedroll, go peek with one eye. It's like, okay.
Kamara's just like, okay. So the night goes by without incident, as I promised you it would, because I am a man of my word. So you do get your long rest if you haven't taken that already. Now,
And I have dreams about hellhounds.
probably hellhounds, fire elementals. It was a long day. I actually didn't realize it until I was looking back at the episodes, how many encounters I threw at you in one day. I was like, oh yeah. Oops. So what we're gonna do, the travel, we're gonna speed through a little bit. But Ava, if there's something that you want to ask Sarah, we can do that as the morning comes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. The morning is here. At this point, everyone's awake. They're packing up. Sarah does seem to be in a better mood. Still kind of quiet, but she seems to not be as dour as the night before.
As I approach, I'll go, good morning, Sarah. Are you ready for me to annoy you again?
Morning, Ava. It's never an annoyance. I promise. It's not.
Well, firstly, is there anything you want my people to tell Morrow about,
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. First, I'd like to know if they've seen him, if they've had any word about what's going on. But as much as it pains me to say this, if he's spotted, he should be arrested. And not confined to his room this time. He should be put in the prison until I return. I mean, at this point, he's committed murder. I mean, that's an actual crime.
That's true.
So, yeah, if you could get that message tomorrow, if he's seen, he should be arrested.
All right.
But he needs to wait to stand trial until I'm home.
Right, of course. He deserves a fair trial in front of one of his family and two, the current leader of Cornelia.
Was there something else?
Yes. Secondly, something to consider during the journey. Meeting the Emperor, and it might be a good idea to have more members of diplomatic council with you instead of traveling with a knight and a band of mercenaries.
What do you suggest?
Something I thought about is maybe temporarily giving Izzy the position of traveling master of knowledge or lore, or maybe even myself, your traveling master of whispers.
Interesting title you've come up with yourself there.
Well, master of songs doesn't quite sound as good.
And Nozak, since he's part of the Empire, is that...
well, I assume he's kind of Empire territory, kind of like your husband.
I wonder if it would be a slap in the face if I tried to appoint him something.
Yeah, I might maybe wait to see until after first contact of the marriage, and then maybe, throw that around. But I'm not going to tell you how to roll your your home.
No, I mean, well, I know it's not an official position or anything, but that's what advisors are for. And at this point, I view the four of you as my closest advisors, especially on this trip. While Morrow may have that actual title, he's not here and you are. And I really appreciate your counsel. All of your counsel. I'll give it some thought. I mean, it's a great idea. I'm definitely going to do it, but I'll give it some thought on the titles. But I would like it when we meet the Emperor, if you are with me. I think it would be better to have more than just myself representing Cornelia in that throne room.
Oh, of course. That's why I even recommended giving Izzy or myself the temporary positions. Because it might be a little weird going, the Queen of Cornelia, her knight and mercenaries. Yeah. Welcome in.
Well, and, I mean, they don't have to be temporary positions.
That's
You'll
fair.
always have a home in Cornelia if that's where you'd like to stay. Whenever this is done.
Kind of nod with a smile.
She kind of stops for a second as she seems to be thinking something over. She goes, we should probably work out the logistics of Furion and how that's going to work as well. I assume he's going to live in Cornelia? Probably should have talked about that beforehand.
Yeah, that's... Well, let's get to Lindblum first.
Ayo.
Well, more things to consider. Just
Love
one more
makes you
thing
do
I
stupid things.
rushed into, I guess. But here's where we find ourselves, and I'm lucky to have you and the rest as aid and support. I'll come up with some good titles, I promise. Can you please make sure that Nozak understands why I'm not giving him a title? Like, I'll try to explain it to him, but I don't want him to feel left out.
Yeah, no, don't worry, I got it. I'll make sure he doesn't... don't worry, I'll make sure.
Okay, thank you.
And make sure he doesn't take it personally.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm gonna be so offended for no reason.
So, is there anything left, and I apologize for leaving the night sounds on for too long. Is there anything left that anyone wants to do today or on the journey itself? Because at this point, you all have gotten back on the road, and the journey is rather long and also slow. The way that it's supposed to be is not as slow as it is, but you're traveling with a lot of people, and you're traveling with wounded. So the journey to Lindblum is going to take almost a month, as slow as you're moving. There's still some distance between Altair and Lindblum, and the stops you have to make, finding food for this many people, it's going to take probably 3 weeks to get up to Lindblum at this point.
I did not think it would take that long. I have a couple of questions then, or at least Izzy does.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And the journey, to clarify, if you hadn't picked up the entire town of Altair, would not have taken anywhere near that long. But you're traveling with children, they have to stop more often. You're traveling with wounded who can't go for 8 hours a day, especially if you're walking. And you only have the one cart, so it's going to take a while.
We also only have 3 clerics.
Exactly.
I'm going to see about if I can talk to maybe Furion or maybe even Kamari might know, or Minwu.
Okay.
If there's any towns on the way, since I'm not familiar enough, that may be able to house the refugees, or should we take them all the way to Lindblum?
So the person...
Knowing that there are so many kids with us, too.
Right. The person that you ask around, and you eventually find yourself at Furion, who seems to have the most knowledge of that. Minwu has, he's able to give you the layout, like, of what's around, but he doesn't really know anything beyond that. Furion, however, is, once you ask him, he goes, well, there is Canaan. That's on the way. It's a little bit of a detour, but It's actually a little smaller than Altair was. So, with its population, I just don't think it could house this many people. Now, as much as I hate to say this, Lindblum does have quite the camp established on the outskirts. And I believe Izzy had mentioned before the disease that was kind of running rampant. We were using it as a quarantine zone, but since we've been able to get a handle on that, we do have tents and supplies already set up for quite a bit of people. I still think Lindblum's probably the best place to take them. I'm afraid Canaan would be just overrun. And then, of course, the other town, Zanarkand, is no more. So,
Jim.
It's just a thought.
No, it's a great thought. And if there were other towns along the way, there are some small settlements, but nothing that can handle this many people. Lindblum is quite large, and the best bet, I think.
Then off that direction we shall go.
Where it switched, where Canaan, the one that went under, we could probably move them to Altair. But unfortunately, the larger city is the one that caught fire.
Yikes.
Well, shit.
Izzy, you had some questions, did you?
Yes. Well, Izzy asked all he needed to, but he will go to Min Woo, and he's going to go to him. He's like, so, I was told you're a very proficient magic user, and considering you're friends with my mentor, that must mean you're either very well known or very powerful. Do you have any tips for a budding young wizard who's trying to learn magic from the ground up? I already know all 300 of the Arcanum by heart. I've read almost every book written by Mistress Matoya. I've read all her journals. I've also read all of her thesis papers.
Nick's just fallen asleep for no reason. This is a Pavlov effect at this stage.
Just nowhere near Izzy, just falling asleep.
That way Eva finds out. We're like, oh, maybe Izzy's going.
Yeah,
Damn,
he says,
kid.
I even know which magical what's the word? Which magical arcane focuses do or don't work with me because of my situation.
So, what exactly is... Are you lacking the spark? Is that essentially it?
From what doctors or magical professionals have told me when I was younger, is that I have a spark, it just doesn't activate on its own.
Well, I'll say that makes you, if not unique, a very rare case. I don't know.
Yes, that's why I have this orb. He makes this giant orb appear. It draws out the magic from my magical core.
I'll say this. My situation doesn't necessarily lend itself to yours. My magic comes primarily from the deities, these days Bahamut, that I request divine power from. But I know one thing. Knowledge is great, and I don't mean to downplay that at all. The books you've read, all you've done is impressive, to say the least, and it is absolutely necessary. But I think my best piece of advice I've given you already. Knowledge can take you so far, but especially when it comes to magic, it's about intent and it's about confidence. You can learn all you want, but until you actually believe that you can make this happen, you won't be able to. Magic is about enforcing your will on the world to change something, the very fabric of that reality, to tap into whatever source of power you're tapping into, be it the life stream, the crystals, mana, and manipulating that to your will. confidence, knowledge, of course, especially in your case with it needing to have specific components and things like that. But that's what I would say.
All right.
I know it's probably not the answer you were looking for, but it's the best I can tell you.
He says that to see that Izzy is frantically scribbling down in a notebook. You see he writes down, it's like, okay, so I made this formula based off of what you said, and what I'm getting is, and he starts going off about this, essentially turning what he said into literal magical math.
That may be one way to do it. If you have confidence in your formulas that they work, then they work.
Okay.
Whatever you have to do to give yourself the confidence to think that you can do this, that's what you need. Confidence doesn't come from a book. It comes from experience. And I think, while you're young and new to this, I would say that you likely already have much more experience than some budding mages twice your age. I mean, how many others can you name that have spoken with an icon? Been brought back
30.
from the dead?
12. Oh, that was rhetorical. I apologize.
Like I said, not unique, but a rare case.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. He slowly scribbles out the formula he had written in his book.
Oh, that must have hurt him to do that.
That's all Izzy had to talk.
All right, Grunthor, Nozak, Ava, anything else?
Unless Ava were to bring up the conversation he had with Ava.
Ava would just walk by Izzy one time randomly and be like, "You may be getting promoted soon," and then say nothing else about it.
Like in life or in general? Oh, he's gone. Okay.
I only know Izzy a little bit, but that seems like something that would make him anxious. Like, wait, what do you mean? I need more information.
I smell a panic attack.
I am not trying to force the RP or anything here, but is anyone ever going to ask Nozak who the kid is that's hanging out with him? Are you just going to let it go? Totally your call. Nelly does stick with you constantly. At this point, Nozak, you are the closest thing she still has to anyone in this world that she really knows. Now, of course, she knows other people in the town, but she seems to have a connection with you, and she's not leaving your side. She will play with the other kids and things like that, but every night she's coming back to you, and she's kind of viewing you, it seems like, as her current guardian.
Yeah. Yay! I have my own little Yuda. No, yeah, that just makes sense. I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Nozak's chill to keep going all the way through.
The journey
He's
is
just doing
long.
cleric shit.
And I imagine the clerics every day are working to heal those that they can. And actually, if you want my honest answer, the fact that you've got 3 clerics at least is even cutting down and making it only 3 weeks. I mean,
4.
Yeah, technically 4.
4.
He thinks he's a cleric.
That's true.
No, I'm actually literally a cleric now.
Oh, you got healing spells. Oh, I see.
Did you take a level in cleric?
I see you.
Fuck yeah, I did.
Oh,
you
man,
did.
I didn't
What
even
is this?
see.
Dude, what is this multi-class?
I like it. I like it a
Actually,
lot.
it's funny you mentioned that because I was thinking about multiclass into something else, but I think I'm going to wait.
It makes sense too. Cleric for you, I
absolutely.
think. So no, you're monk.
This is the
slash
most
cleric.
wild shit.
You're talking about the gifts that are being sent. They can't see those on stream. They are funny though.
Intentional.
Anything else over this journey? The general chit chat and stuff like that. But is there any specific conversations that you want to have on the road with each other, with the NPCs? Okay.
I while we're traveling, I'm definitely going to be picking Kamari's brain about, like, you know, his role, what he's been doing,
Okay.
you know,
They
like
call it now.
battle stories. We're still keeping an eye on Sarah, but, you know, comparing scars.
Okay. Without going into his voice and everything, he will tell you most of his stories revolve around watching over Sarah when she was little. He'll start to show you scars, and a lot of them have to do with something Sarah did to get him hurt. He definitely had some battles, and he tells you a few stories about the fleeing of Xanarkand and how that went for him as he had to flee from his home as it was being overrun by the fiends. And he tells you some of that stuff, shows you some more scars he got from there. But when he talks about that, he's very, very quiet, gruff. But some of that begins to crack away when he starts telling stories about Sarah. And you can see he smiles more, and he just generally seems to love and care for this charge that he's been looking over for the most of her life. So... but yeah, he has seen some stuff, and you share what stories you can with him from what you can remember. And so give me a Constitution saving throw, just to see who has the best scar. That's all it's for.
Oh, is that what we're calling it nowadays? Okay.
You're in no danger. Oh, 25. Yeah, I rolled a 3. So yeah, you definitely have. You've got where would it be? Like, where would be your best scar?
Probably like right across the shoulder, like going down my clavicle, straight towards my heart, but
deep. It looks like it may have stopped just inches from your heart, just deep. And once you show him that and tell him the story behind it, he's just like, cool. You guys have got to stop sending me gifts. You're killing me.
Sorry.
You're not really killing me. So, about a week and a half in, Ava, you get just a tiny little fluttering, sounds like inside your head, as a small voice comes through. Just a quick update. Morrow seems way too happy, but I think the egg's about to hatch. But otherwise, all quiet.
Okay, with the sending stones, is it each stone has one charge, or there's one charge between the stones?
You can respond. Yeah, you can respond to that without using a charge. So,
okay, so I can respond to it, and then I can also do ascending?
To that one. That's how I'm going to do it. I like that way better. So the sending will have that so and the back.
We can each make a call.
Yeah. So, and then it resets every day. So she can send that, you can respond, and if you need to make a call, you can send it and she can respond.
Cool. Cool. I'll say thank you, Lindblum. Make sure Lord Morrow knows about the king. Detain him on the Queen's orders. The Fourgiven send their regards to Morrow.
Okay.
It's the weirdest haiku I think I've ever heard in my life.
I'm a man of many talents, Zach.
Haiku is not one of them.
So you send that back. That would count as your response to her. So she won't be able to respond unless you send her another one using your charge. If you don't need a response, that's fine.
Ah, fuck. Yeah, I want a response. I'll use my charge.
Okay.
Damn it.
So you want to add anything else then? Yeah, because that was your response, and now she's like, okay.
Is there anything you want to tell Morrow?
Cool, bro.
Morrow?
Can I stab the king yet?
So what are you asking her if she has anything she wants to tell Morrow?
Yeah, I guess I'll ask Sarah, actually.
Oh, Sarah. I thought you were saying that. I was like,
No.
I don't know how to respond to that. Did you relay the message about what to do with my father if he were to be seen?
Yeah, I told him to detain him as a prisoner. Well, to detain him. I'm pretty sure Morrow will know, but I did say that, yes.
Okay. No, I think...
You only have 25 words.
25 words. Okay.
Yep.
Morrow.
140 characters.
Oh, the egg is hatching, by the way.
Oh, that's actually what I was about to ask. How the egg was.
Oh yeah.
The egg will be hatching soon. That's great.
Morrow's very excited about it. I think he loves that egg.
Really? That's interesting. You know, it's not that interesting. He was always very. He puts on a gruff exterior, but he was always the first one to play with me whenever I asked when I was a little girl.
Yeah, you know, I think the things he pretends to really hate, he likes the most. That's why I think he really likes us. I think he likes me the most.
Except maybe my father. That one.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if he pretends to hate your father. I think he just hates your father.
That's fair. No, just if you could ask for another update when the egg hatches, that would be great. And I just we need to think of a name.
True.
Oh, you all found it. Maybe you should come up with a name.
Oh, yeah. Grunther is the Chocobo expert. So I'll get his opinion.
Okay. No,
we'll get his opinion.
I just want an update on the egg. That's it. And if I trust Morrow, so I'm not going to just pester him about all the day-to-day minutia. But if anything, large comes up, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right. Tell Morrow to keep us in touch. I'll put that sending stone to Lindblum.
Okay. So you send that, and you wait for just a second. So you had said that, and then before you had said, so what was the other thing about the king? Right?
The king is to be detained. Let Lord and Morrow know, and that the Fourgiven is how he's finding out this information.
Gotcha. Will do. I think Morrow kind of knows who's sending in this information. But I'll tell him.
All right.
So don't shoot the king on sight. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Updates to follow.
So excellent.
Leonhard out.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I was waiting for someone to bring out the burn book and everything.
Really quick, I just realized I do this thing where I just assume Izzy tells you guys information and I don't actually say it. Izzy would tell them what Minwoo told him. Basically, they might need to speak to the icons in the actual crystals to find information on where the mother crystal is, and also he understands that the mother crystal comes last right now in this current moment, so he'll just be there waiting to give them more information when they're done with this current mission.
Okay.
Like in our little crystal?
No. The bigger crystals.
Oh, that makes more sense.
So we're going to speak to them without absorbing them this time, please.
Hey, she accepted the deal. God agreed to a deal made by a mortal. There was two consenting parties.
No one died.
Right. Yeah, you're right, Ava. When you really think about it, it's Garuda's fault.
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but it kind of is.
As a reminder for the audience, it was Garuda's idea, but in her words, she was so mad at humanity, she was like, if this goes south, it still screws humanity, so I'm okay with that. So
it's like good for her. Above table,
what
good
a
for her.
Bitch.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
It's kind of a win-win in her case, either way.
It was.
Yeah,
I just want to put that out there for the audience that it wasn't. Garuda did not do this out of the kindness of her heart.
Yeah, but Izzy, and this is the last thing I have to do. He's actually going to talk to Nazak, and he's just going to gently walk next to the small bean and say, Nelly, can me and Nozak, can I speak to Nozak for a bit? We need to have a grown-up conversation.
Okay, I'll go play with the kids. Is that okay, Mr. Bunnyman?
Yeah, that's fine. You go and have fun.
Okay.
You go and enjoy yourself.
And she just runs off.
Yeah.
There seems to be a little group of kids that she's kind of fallen in with, that she seems to like playing with. None of them were the kids that Ava was telling stories to specifically.
Yeah, but Izzy will look at Nozak and he'll just say, you haven't made any promises or anything to her, right?
Any promises? No, I don't believe so. We haven't
So
really.
when we take her to Lindblum, there will not be any problem of you leaving her with someone else.
Oh yeah, no, I've already got plans.
Are
I
you
know a
sure?
couple of people. Yeah, I know some people that'll be able to take her in. That'll be able to take in all the kids.
Wonderful. I'm sorry. I don't mean to seem as if I'm trying to tell you what to do, but I
If
would
you're
hate
uncaring.
hmm, I would hate to see them have to live in a situation that they can't get ahead. I've seen plenty of families and kids who are poor because nobility chooses to keep them that way. I'd want to make sure they actually have a chance to at least make it somewhere in life.
Okay, well, I will make you a deal for a second, and it's not a deal that you have to do anything. Just don't tell Firion or Sarah. There are a few places that we tend to take the kids from shitty situations and put them into better places. That's why I'm saying I know a few people that'll be able to help her out, help all the kids out. Uh, they helped one of the kids that I look after now, so I don't technically have a kid, but I suppose I kind of adopted them. Uh, but yeah, she'll be fine. They'll be all right. I haven't made any promises. All I've said to her is just to, keep her head up, keep going. I mean, she's the one that come up with she wants to be a hero, like her dad was. So, she'll be fine. Just don't tell Firion about the whole kind of stealing the orphans and putting them into better places. It's necessary. It's necessary. I promise.
When we speak to his father, I think I'm going to leave you to do a bulk of the talking. Uh, without
Yeah.
being without being too for without being too forward, I'm not sure how I'll be able to um, handle dealing with nobility. In my experience, most of them aren't very pleasant to deal with.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a different situation considering I'm also going to be a little bit on the outs. I mean, he did try to kill me, so it's going to be interesting seeing the failed assassination attempt and the runaway child come back to the Empire with a queen
Well,
and 300 people and a couple of
well,
mercenaries that we killed an icon with. I'm starting to sense that this might be a bit more intense than I thought it would be.
I'm going to let you do a majority of talking, but if you need my assistance, just let me know.
Will do. Thank you, Izzy. I'll be sure to ask on you if I need anything.
If
Or if I
there
need a
is,
walk and sleep spell.
you see he sighs. He wants to say something else, but he stops. He just says, if things fail, I have a trick in my back pocket that may be able to help.
Okay. I trust you.
Wonderful.
DM's scared of that.
Hey, Izzy, I know we don't see eye to eye a lot because we're from two very different places with our backgrounds, the magic that we can use, with everything going on. But I do trust you, okay? So if you have an idea, then unless something comes up and it seems the most logical solution, you're the first person I'm coming to, okay?
Oh, I didn't doubt that. I apologize if I made it seem that way.
There's actually gonna tap him on the shin because it's all he can fucking reach, and just be like,
Yeah.
you're doing fine, mate. It's all good. I trust
If
you."
it makes you feel better, out of everyone, if I were to go to people for advice, it would be you. I don't think out of all of you, I think I'm the most logical, but you have a gift that not a lot of people, including myself, have. You can find it in your heart to have empathy for almost anyone, unless they're irredeemable, and I think that's something that is very difficult to do, and I commend you for being able to do so.
Uh, I I appreciate that. I really do. I try to, considering where I come from, what I do, helping as many people as I can while still working with the Empire. But I am going to remind you, I did want to furiously stab the king when I had a couple of drinks. Like, I'm not
Yes, but
exactly the most.
I mean, but you were drunk. I don't really hold that against you.
Yeah, and nobody would have suspected the rabbit. I'm still upset that no one let me stab him.
I mean, he's a horrible person, so he's about to get stabbed. He's about to get stabbed by the law in a bit.
Oh yeah, true. I suppose. Alright. Okay.
My new term for incarceration: getting stabbed by the law. Anyways, that's all the talking Izzy has to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other conversations we want to have on the way?
All good from Ava.
I'm just trying to think if Nozak and Furion would have a chat about something, but I feel like it's kind of like an unspoken agreement to just like wait until we get into the city to see what happens.
Okay.
So yeah, nothing from Nozak. I'm just gonna stay with the kids.
Okay.
Actually, before Izzy walks away, I'm gonna be like, yeah, seriously though, don't tell them about the whole, the whole kid situation. Really don't want you to take it off me.
Don't tell anybody I kidnap kids, okay? They won't understand.
You kill siblings! You kill siblings! I kidnap kids! Same thing. Half of the course.
I don't know if those are exactly the same, but...
I say as I take a bite out of my chocolate cookie.
Okay. So. The weeks drag on. And just when you think that you can't take any more of this, the slow pace, you finally, in the distance, see the grand city of Lindblum in the far distance. The way that it is, the city itself is huge, and it's built up on top of these kind of just like a giant hill that's kind of in the middle of this place. You can see the towers and the palace itself. You can see from even this distance, towers over the rest of the city. There is a wall that kind of goes around the city, and there's only one way up this small mountain to the front gate. Below it, it's been carved out, and there is just a moat that goes around the entire base of this large hill that's in the middle of your field there. And then again, the one path that just starts ramping slowly up, guards along the path every step of the way, and a giant gate, and beyond that, another gate that just encircles the entirety of this city. Nozak, you would know the layout of the city, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of give you the lowdown of what it would look like. The city itself is comprised of 9 separate districts. So the first thing that you'll notice as you come up, there is that first gate. Once you pass through that, this is what's called the outskirts of town. So it's between the two gates. This encircles the entirety of the rest of the city. This is where the quarantine zone was that they were housing the sick from when they were having an outbreak of the serpent pox. That was the disease that was kind of sweeping through the town. They were housing them in the outskirts, so outside of the main city, but not outside of the second wall, so still defended. Once you get into that, it's basically the city itself is a giant circle, for lack of a better word, with the 8 separate districts inside. The first one that you come into is the business district. This is where you have most of your shops, your inns, all of the things like that you're going to be finding. Kind of going clockwise around, the next one up is the theater district. You know that this is where this one was actually founded by one of the previous emperors. You were around for that, just for his love of theater. So there's an entire district where there's just nothing but theater and small plays, and then the largest theater that is, for the populace, but it's where the empire or the emperor goes to see his stuff. Moving on around, you have the Enlightened District. This is where the main church of the Hallowed Worm is. That is the main church that worships Bahamut. This is also where the library is located. So this is where your higher education, this is where the college is, and all that as well. Going on around, that's the Residential District. This is where the majority of your working class live. Those that would commute over to the Business District. It is a giant city, so you will know that the traveling between districts is typically done by air taxi, to which you now know how that's, if they're still working or not. Next is Highwind's Landing, and this is where they launch and land the airships that come and go from Lindblum. So this is where this is also where they have the where they do the repairs on the ships and things like that.
Ava, you fucked this city.
On around is the industrial section. This is where the industrial district. This is where the forge is located. So this is where you would have done most of your working. This is where they construct the Magitech and do all of the things that you would do within the forge. Kind of within the industrial district, there is a smaller residential district that is just mainly known as the slums. This is where some of your more poor folk live, kind of shoved into the industrial district. A lot of people who just don't want to commute would live there as well. The housing quality is not usually as good, but still, it's not like people living in filth or anything like that. And then in the very center is the Imperial Palace district, which incorporates the palace itself, as well as the housing for any of the people that work in the palace and any of the people that... So, like, if you work in the palace, you actually move into the Imperial district. You don't have to commute from the residential district. So you would kind of know the layout of the town. You've lived here for years and years, and you could relay that to the group if you would like. But that's the general gist of what the city itself looks like. I don't have a map because it's a very large city, and I just don't have it done yet. So I apologize. But
Theater of the Mind.
And I can send
District 2, Theater of the Mind.
I can send you a very bad sketch I did if you want to see that later. So, but that's essentially what it is. There's only one path by foot in and out of the city, and it's up the path that winds up this hill that's in front of you, leading to the front gate. All other travel to and from comes in and out of Highwind's Landing. So
yeah. Wow, this feels weird. Okay, so I'm gonna relay all the information that you've just given to everybody else. But obviously we will take some time in the outer districts. We'll make sure that most of our refugees are, safe, looked after, and that they're okay. Sarah, for a few moments before we go, obviously we're going to need some time to, wait and organize everything with the Emperor. This is wow, I never thought I would invite someone else into my home. Actually, above table DM,
yeah,
I sent you a message about someone. I just want to know whether you will let me have that.
Oh, did you send it
before? Recently? No. We talked about it before. Like, because it was like the one thing I wanted. It was like the only thing I've wanted.
Oh, I'm sure. Wait,
okay.
Is it a gun?
Is it the character you wanted to see?
Yeah, it's the kid. It's my kid.
oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the Final Fantasy XII character.
No, that one will come. That can come whenever you want it to be. No,
sure. I was like, I'm not ready for that.
No.
I need to do more research on that character.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'll send you a spreadsheet, dude.
Yeah, I mean that.
Yeah, no.
I haven't said no to much.
Cool. Yeah. So I want to bring you into some comfort first, and obviously this is going to extend to everybody. I'll tell you guys everything that I know of about the city, and Firion can help. But we'll spend some time at the outskirts first. We'll make sure that everybody is okay, all the refugees are fine, and then we'll. I guess we'll go home for a little bit. Just while we organize everything, I suppose. Firion, I think it might actually be an idea if we kind of maybe give it a little bit of time before we talk to some people about what happened.
Definitely. You actually you beat me to the punch. I plan on parting ways with you very, very shortly, to tell my father that I'm home, inform him I have some news, just kind of lay the groundwork. And honestly, it would be best if you laid low for a day or two. Maybe don't storm into the town and start, doing stuff.
Like killing icons or
maybe
killing guards in the middle of the city or something. Yeah, been there, done that. It's all good.
The more people we can keep quiet about the Queen of Cornelia being within Lindblum, the better.
We'll see how long that lasts. The what do I call it?
You have a presence.
The network, the kids, the network that you are not supposed to know about. But let's be honest, they'll find out soon enough. So I'll try and keep as much on the down low as I can. But send us a message when you're ready, and I'm gonna scribble. Actually, no. I'm gonna press a couple of buttons on my armpit, and a little receipt's gonna pop out, and I'm gonna scribble my address onto the piece of paper, and give it to Firion. You feel free to say no, but with how long Nozak's been around, obviously being an advisor for the kings and of previous times, and obviously working in the forges and all that, would he have a place in the industrial era, in the industrial district? Not industrial, sorry, the
imperial,
the big one in the middle.
Yeah, I would say.
Okay,
I would say you would. At this point, because of how long you've been around, and if you have worked closely with Noctis in the past as well, so they view you, and the fact that they were using you as a delegate, they view you as one of the more not senior members of the Forge, but most likely the expert of the Forge. So yes, you would have been able to move up into the Imperial District at this point. So
awesome. Wanted to make sure. Yeah, cool. So that's where I live. We're gonna try and lay low there for a little bit. We've got staff. I've got people that help me. They'll stay quiet. It's okay. And we'll stay there for now.
Minwu steps up. Fury, and I plan on coming with you, if you don't mind. I think that perhaps the Emperor would like to hear my input on what happened. I would suggest perhaps Sarah lie low with these folk until we're ready for that. And Sarah kind of says, yeah, that might be the best idea, baby. I think that I should probably stay here until we're ready to actually introduce me as your wife. And Firion, he looks a little like he hadn't really considered that at first, but then he just kind of relents. Actually, that's a good idea. I think it's better if we don't just say, "Hi, I'm home. Here's my wife." Is that a problem?
Married by the rabbits.
And then Firion asks Nozak if that would be an issue.
Yeah, no, I've already, I've already suggested it. I think it will do some good, and it'll be fine. It will be all good.
Okay. Well, she turns around and she just looks up at this city, which is huge, and it just dwarfs not only Cornelia, what it was, but what is left of Cornelia, for sure, after the war. You can just see, and even from this distance, you could start to hear as you approach just some of the sounds of the city. This place is amazing. It's beautiful, too. As you're kind of coming in, the sun's kind of setting, and just the light that it casts onto the castle itself, that still, from this distance, towers above the rest of the city. It's a beautiful sight. Now, all of you may have different views about the Empire, and Lindblum and the castle itself may represent certain things to you that may not be so beautiful. But in this moment, it is hard to not look at this in just kind of awe of what the just creation of this empire has done with this city. You will notice, Nozak, there is not the typical air travel. In any given day, you're used to seeing quite a bit of coming and going of different aircrafts coming out of Highwind Landing. You don't see that today. It strikes you as a little... And it's one of those things that you're so used to seeing it that it just kind of fades into the background. And it takes you a minute to realize what's missing. Just that something looks off about the view. But there doesn't seem to be any coming and going today. So... As you make
sky looks nice.
as you make your way up the incline, as you start walking your way towards, it gets pretty steep. Sorry, I was trying to say two different words. Don't you make fun of me? I'll give you D inspiration.
No, my stealth checks. Disadvantage with disadvantage.
It gets very steep. This is a highly defensible location. As you kind of approach the gate, Furion takes charge as he walks up, and there's two guards standing there, but you can see like that's lining the top of the wall that goes around. More and more reinforcements have started to come as 300 people are marching up this ramp towards the gate. Furion steps up.
Think of that.
At ease. You know me. I'm Furion Garland. Look at me. He just kind of stands there. I have grave tidings from the city of Altair. It has been destroyed. These fine people are the people from Altair that have followed me here in good faith, as I promised them we would have shelter for them and some warm meals. If you don't recognize me, run and fetch someone from the palace. They can confirm my identity. And then one of the guards goes, no need for that. I recognize Furion anywhere. Altair destroyed, you say? Furion just kind of shakes his head. The guy just kind of looks worried. You could see that he starts scanning the crowd a little bit as Nozak, someone pushes you out of the way. They don't really even see you.
Not hard.
Because you're so kind of tiny.
Push me out of the way and the kid fucking boots me.
And Ava, as you're kind of standing there, someone kind of checks your, elbow as someone's pushing through the crowd. And you can see this woman just runs out of the crowd past Furion and just throws herself at the guard. And just like hugs him as tight as he can. And he just kind of hugs her back and goes, and she says to him, I thought I'd never see you again. Furion just looks at them.
Aww.
Why don't you take the rest of the day off? I think we have quite enough guards. As he looks up, and there's like at least 20 guards, all with their crossbows like aimed down at you all. As they kind of see what's happening, they start to lower them. What is the status of the outbreak? Has it been completely contained? And the other guard, first kind of just watching his partner, because him and his girlfriend, I don't know.
Him and his missus.
They're just kind of like holding each other. He snaps himself back to the attention of Furion. Actually, yes, the pox situation seems to be under control. The outskirts actually have been completely cleaned out. I think we have... it's not the best lodging, as you know, but we should have more than enough room for the people here. And it's been quite some time since we've actually housed an infected within these tents. So,
thank God.
From the palace itself, we do have... they seem to have come up with some kind of cure. So what cases are popping up, they seem to be dealt with. That sounds bad. They're cured. And Furion just nods. That's a relief. The status of that when I left was still a little tentative, so... Yes, if we could get these people some blankets and some warm food. I need to go speak to my father, and if you don't mind, this is Minwoo, and Minwoo kind of shuffles up to the front. He'll be accompanying me. If we could please get just an escort to the palace, just so we could avoid any delays. Of course, Your Highness. Right this way. As he signals up to the people, and the gates start to just slowly open, and the people just start pouring in. And as you'll notice, as you pass through this first set of gates, there is quite a lot of space. It's the outskirts themselves are also really huge. And you can still see in the distance there's yet another gate you have to pass through. But as the people come in, there's this wave of just relief almost at finally being somewhere that feels a little more permanent. At this point, you feel a tug, Nozak, on your hand. Mr. Bunnyman, please don't leave me. I'm a little scared. I don't know.
Don't worry about it, Nelly. It's okay. I got you. Just stay with me, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna introduce you to someone when we get home. All right?
Okay. Okay.
We'll be good.
What do you all want to do? The townspeople from Altair are just kind of milling around, and they're going to find... The guards are kind of setting up stations to kind of help these people. So they do seem to be taken care of. I just wanted to throw that out. Didn't mean to cut you off, Izzy. I'm sorry.
That's no problem. Izzy does not hide it well, but he did roll his eyes at one point during that speech. Because he rolled a 4 for stealth. Other than that, he's just staying with Nozak, because he saw Nozak speak to Furion, so he's like, okay, clearly the bunny has a plan, so I'm going to stay by him.
Okay. What about
that?
Grunthor or Ava? What do you all want to do?
Where's Sarah going?
Sarah's coming home with us.
Yeah, she's sticking with you all for now.
If I can, yeah, I'm probably going to stay by her.
Okay.
Does
Kamari,
she still have her fancy illusion cloak?
yes, and she put the hood back up as you were kind of coming up the on ramp. So the cloak the cloak has been up through all interactions with the guards. Kamari will also be sticking with you because as he is sticking close to Sarah. So.
I got room.
Yeah, and this person, and everybody. You got 300
I mean,
beds.
it's sad that we're gonna finish this, and I'm gonna get on Minecraft and probably build this house.
You definitely should. That is absolutely something you should do.
Yeah, I'm probably going to.
So,
yeah, I got room. We're in the Imperial District. We'll be fine. I got room.
So we're going to the Imperial District?
Yeah, I suppose we are. Obviously, once we have sorted out everyone. So there's 4 of us, Nelly, Sarah, and Kimari, plus me, and yeah, I got room.
as you're kind of mulling around in the outskirts, Furion does approach and says, if you're going into the city, you best come with me. It might be harder to convince them to open the gates without me. So if you have any business here, I suggest maybe wrapping it up. If you have anything you need to do here, security, they don't open the inner gates to just anybody, especially with the pox situation.
Yeah, I mean, I did help build the security, so we'll be right.
I meant no offense. They may let you through. I just was saying it would be easier.
As pretentious as it sounds, like, Nozak's been around like 900 years of the Empire. He's probably had a hand in things. I sound like such an asshole, though.
I love it. It's very Nozak, though. Like, perfect. You sound like what a 900-year-old bunny would sound like to me. Like,
no,
I built this place from the ground up. Like,
you're well beyond get off my lawn.
Not get off my lord. It's this is my lord.
Oh, I'm sorry, king or son of the emperor. You think you hold some weight around here? I knew your great granddad. Dude was a dick. Okay, all right. You ain't nothing.
And his wife was a bitch. Yeah.
Only 30 generations back.
Yeah, you'll be right. Oh, cool, mate.
So.
Yeah.
You're heading into.
Oh my god! Yeah, sorry, Kara.
No, I just
thought of something
what that was.
Gonna be really funny. No, I just thought of something that's going to be really funny.
All right. Yeah, so going with Firion through the next gate, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Any objections? Okay. So, you find your way, as the gates kind of open up, you find yourself right in the middle of the business district. This is where the trade is just bustling. So, like, as soon as the gates open, you see the guards, they come around and start to escort Firion and Minwu off towards the palace. He turns around really quick and says to Sarah, though, he says, I will be sending for you very shortly, okay? And she goes, I'm fine, go. They've got me. I can take care of myself, too, just so you know. He just kind of rolls his eyes. It looks like he's about to lean in and give her a kiss and then thinks better of it, and then just kind of nods and turns and walks into the crowd with his guard and Minwu. And now you all are just in the middle of what is likely, Nozak, for you, nothing. Izzy, this is very busy for you. From where you're from, there's not this many people. Grunther, you don't even know if you've been here before. So, but now Ava, you see some opportunities. Is what I think Ava sees here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Izzy looks right. Like, it is much busier than I remember.
And you remember?
Yeah, I told you guys I was here once before.
Oh.
I mean, to be fair, it was cut short. I had to leave relatively quickly back to my mentor. But other than that, I just came here to do some quick business.
Right, of course. Sorry, I must have forgotten with everything going on. Okay, well, this is District 1. This is the business district. Anything that you need for shopping, anything you need for orders as well. Grunthor, I think when it comes to armor, I'll take you over to the forge at one stage, so I can get that.
You do
Ava,
also know of an armament in this part of the city. Dragoo's Armaments. You would know of that place as well. Though, with Nozak being who he is, I think he would probably suggest the forge, but you would know of that specific shop.
Yeah. Well, there is one place, but I can make it better. But yeah, I'll show you around. Izzy, District 3 is the library. I very highly assume we're probably going to lose you in there, so let's head home first and, rest up and then, go ham. And lastly...
That is a smart assumption.
And lastly, Ava, I know your fingers are probably twitching, but I would suggest you keep it to 5 pickpockets minimum. Well, 5 pickpockets maximum.
Minimum, okay.
5 maximum, Ava.
All right.
There is a network that I keep here that kind of helps me out with a few things, and they need to, sort things out for themselves, but that will come later. So, yeah, if everybody is ready, I suppose I'll take you all home.
I like you more and more, Nozak.
Oh, hang on, just wait until wait till people start recognizing me. You people will recognize me, and you guys won't.
Before they go, Izzy is just going to hold out his arm and have Al Nubis fly down. By the way, I don't think I mentioned this. Al Nubis turned into a black banded owl. So basically just like an all black owl with like more ruffled feathers, and like their talons and like their beaks are like orangish yellow.
Oh, that's pretty.
That's adorable.
But he says, just for now, my friend, I think you need to just rest by yourself for a bit. I'll make sure to summon you if I need any help. And you see he draws a rune in the air, and you see he presses it onto Al-Nubis' chest, and Al-Nubis kind of just disappears in a flash of silver.
Oh God, what did you do to him?
You killed him.
What? No, I sent him back to the pocket dimension he comes from. I can summon him again whenever I want, but we have enough to worry about right now. I don't need to worry about where he may be or choose to fly to.
Wait, is he not a real bird?
No, he's a spirit I summoned.
Oh.
Yeah,
those.
he had He's an entire being. I didn't even name him. He had a name when I summoned him.
I feel like this is blowing
But
Abe's mind.
But I can give you the dissertation I wrote on Find Familiar later.
Nozak, do you have stables for Duchess?
Yeah, no, of course we do. In the Imperial District, there's a Chocobo Wrangler, and they look after everybody, and they make sure that everything's all right. God, now that I think about it, I didn't think I never put a stable in my home. I can get that sorted pretty quickly.
We can worry about that later. For now, we should probably find a place so our guest here, he gestures to Sarah, can sit down for a bit.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, we're gonna make this easier. We're gonna get there as quickly as we can. So, Grunthor. Uppies? Cool, thank you. And she's gonna hold me above the crowd. Even though everyone knows about the rabbit that runs around and stuff, it's just gonna be easier to guide people when I'm up top.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just sitting like this. He's these little paws. It's okay, we're going this way.
Grunthor, you would notice too, as you look around, there are chocobo everywhere. There are ones that are being used to haul stuff back and forth from different carts. Some that are just kind of chained up or tied up near water troughs and things like that. There are plenty of chocobo all throughout the business district here. So that's probably one of the first things that just kind of catches your eye. A vast plethora of colors. Of course, yellow being the most common. There's a couple black chocobo, some red. There's only one gold, though, and that one's walking next to you.
I'm not getting weird stares, or Duchess is not getting weird stares because of that, is she?
Give me a perception check. No, you're not noticing anything. You'll notice a person or two. Let's kind of do a double take, but you're not getting any weird vibes off of anybody. So
I feel that'll be right.
Are you holding those, Zach? Or are you doing that thing you do with toddlers where you put them on your shoulders?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. He said uppies, and I'm like,
yeah, just lifted me up, and Nozak's yeah, sure.
Backpack or sit on my shoulder?
Just put me on your shoulder for now. I don't weigh much.
Really quick, how old is Nellie?
Nellie's about 10.
Oh, I thought she was 5.
Nah.
Okay. If that's the case, Izzy will just push her forward and just say, try your best to keep up. I know this can be a bit overwhelming.
Nellie.
Overhearing all this, I was do you want to sit on my other shoulder?
I was going to say, as you did that, Nellie was just going to stop. She was going to look at you, Izzy, and just do the uppy thing that she saw Nozak do.
Yeah, then, he looks at her. He says, "You're 10. I'm not doing that."
But then Grunthor, if you say that, she runs over to you and just starts jumping and doing the same, just mimicking the same thing that Nozak just did to you. So now
the worst part is Izzy wasn't even trying to be mean. He just sounds like that.
So now you've got what? You've got Nozak and Nellie on both of your shoulders. And you're tall anyway, as people are kind of giving you a berth. Not afraid of you or anything, but they see this rather large Galka just walking through the streets with a child and a bunny on his shoulder, and they're just okay, he's got places to be. So they're kind of moving out of your way.
I'm going to guess that Nellie is astride my shoulders, with legs on both sides, and then I have one arm around, clasping her leg, where Nozak is actually sitting on one shoulder with his legs between two. So
gotcha. Okay.
I kind of have them both secured.
Perfect.
That's good.
Great. We've got to get an artist that watches this show to draw stuff. I need stuff. Okay. I need some of this art.
I can just picture Duchess. I can just picture Duchess looking at me What the hell? I got a perfectly good back that both of them can ride on. Dude.
I know. I was just thinking you have a joke.
If you listen carefully, you can literally hear the bark. What the quack?
So.
Okay. DM. As we get closer to the Imperial District, when do people start recognizing Nozak?
So it does take you a little bit, because the first thing you do notice is the air taxis do seem to be out of service at the moment. So as are you walking by like the station, there's just a sign that says currently out of order. So it does take you a little longer because you have to basically cross this entire district on foot. But once you start getting towards the edge, at this point, there are some people that'll just give you kind of a wave, like, you know, as you're passing, people that you don't even know, just that they know of you. But it's not until you get towards the Imperial District, like right there on where the business district starts to fade and the Imperial District starts to come in, the guard presence is better there as they, you know, try to keep people out of the Imperial District. Then one of them does notice you and goes, "Nozak, I haven't seen you around here in a while. Been keeping your head down in the forge?"
Nozak's gonna look down at the party, and he's just gonna say in his normal voice, he's gonna be like, don't ask questions, okay? Right? No questions. And he's gonna turn back to the guard, and he's just gonna be like, "Yeah, no, it's all good. Just, you know, kind of keeping things, you know, running and making sure everything's all right. You know, it's a couple of things that you know, you know what the forge is like these days. You know, we've always got orders coming in and out. We've got to make sure that all these people are all right. And the bastards over in the business district are starting to piss me off a bit. But
well, yeah, that's what they do.
You know,
hey, you know, maybe you take some time to see what's going on with these damn air taxis. Getting tired of walking here every friggin' day.
Well, yeah, I've been kind of seeing a couple of things. You can see the sky, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
like,
whatever they got you on, they need to pull you off of it. You need to be working on this shit. Whoever they got looking into this, probably Joel. That dude's just a dumbass.
Don't get me started on fucking Joel. You're right. Yeah, honestly, I've been wanting to get rid of that bastard for so long. All right,
well,
you know what?
Whatever. I haven't seen you forever. Whatever they got you on must be important. But I'm telling you, this is getting a little out of hand.
Mate, it's been happening for quite a while now. You worked for the Empire once, and you're in servitude for them for how long has it been? Fucking 900 years. But you'll be right. I'll make sure I talk to someone, and we'll get it sorted. But yeah, at the moment, I'm just heading home for the day. I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you.
Nice to see a friendly face for once, instead of them, you know, asking, Nozak, how do I do this? Or, Nozak, why is this material not working?
I kind of did, but, you know, whatever.
You'll be right.
All right, well, get on home. It's getting kind of late, so I'm almost off duty, too, so.
Oh, yeah, say hi to the missus for me.
Well, got a nice L with my name on it. Can't wait. Oh, it's shit day.
Good man. All right, sweet. All right, well, yeah, I might see you next time then. See if I can get something sorted.
I gotta tell you though, the new Magitech rifle you sent the batch about a month or two ago.
Yeah, it's good shit,
nice. Yeah, I mean I don't. I don't have too much use to. We don't shoot a lot of people around here, but practicing with it.
I hope so.
Yeah, well,
just head down to the training grounds.
It's nice, great improvement over the last model. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, last model was kind of the, you know, the prototype, I suppose. But we'll probably be able to get it all sorted soon. No, again, don't talk about Joel. I'll make sure that he gets out of here as soon as I can.
All right. Anyway, have a good night. Have a good night. I got like 10 minutes left, and I'm out of here too. But they're with you. I'm assuming he kind of points.
Yeah, no, they're all with me. It's all good.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, man. Have a great one.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy your drink, mate.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna
walk on by. You just hear
like, why did you sound like that?
You know, you kind of have to.
Izzy, you just said no questions, goddammit.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It's my nature.
That's fair.
As we're like walking further away from the gate, like slowly getting towards home, which would be like, would assume like probably a little bit closer to the inner circle, because you know I've worked with them for so long, and I'm a pretentious fuck. What can I say? No, but like as we're getting further away, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, look, you guys know me. They're not gonna listen to someone so quiet. I mean, I might have built everything, and I might have, patented everything, but you need a bit more of a rough exterior in the vault. That's why I'm gonna be honest. That's why I kind of only invited Grunthor to the forge. They'd eat you alive, Izzy. You would probably not last long, and the heat. It's so hot over there. So
Fuck, what about me?
you'd probably steal from them. I can just organize a register for you.
All right, that's fair. So it's not because like you did not invite me because you didn't think I'm not tough enough for it. You just knew I'd cause too many issues because I'd steal for them.
Yeah, you're kind of a dick.
That's very
Yeah.
true. Thank you. I take
So-
pride in that.
Yeah, so we're gonna head home, but yeah, I might do that a couple of times. Just don't worry about it. I'm still me.
As you're walking, you hear Ava, you get that familiar tingle in your head. And you
fuck.
hear, hey, good news. The chocobo, the little bird, it hatched. It's so cute. It's like a little boy, chocobo. Oh, and are you there yet? That's just where it
I
goes
will
off.
turn this party around.
What color is it? Yes, we actually just got here 3 hours ago.
So you send
Baby
that.
chocobos are cute.
That's your response.
Yep.
So do you want to send something else?
Nope. That's it.
'Cause she can't respond to that.
That's
Then
the tweet.
Yeah, I know.
you ask a question.
That's
Wow,
it,
Ava
that's the
really is a
tweet.
dick.
Just
I
imagine-
different
I
priorities,
teach
it's
good
fine.
lessons, okay?
I just imagine Leonard right now is like, damn it.
Just a cutaway, and she's like, "Fuck!"
Now you'll never know.
Yep.
As you're walking, as you're going to your house, Nozak, you have a great view of the palace itself. Because where you are,
Yeah, I do.
you're in the imperial district, but you're kind of towards the side that's closer to the industrial district, which would make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
keep your commute small, but you have a great view of the palace itself.
Same.
Grunthor, as you kind of see the palace, you do remember, just briefly, the favor Moro asked you to do. It just kind of pops in your head. Whether or not you do it, that's totally up to you. But as you look at the palace, after it almost slipped from your mind after weeks and weeks and weeks. It just kind of pops in like, oh yeah, that.
Since I have Nozak right here, and I'm
Why?
sure Nelly is busy looking around like, oh my gosh, big city and all that. I go say, Nozak,
Yeah.
you happen to know an Elmira?
That's gonna be a roll for me, my dude.
Yeah, give me a history check. Yeah, give me a history check.
Intelligence, man. Next level up, I'm increasing this bitch. No, I have no fucking idea.
3. There's a lot of people in Lindblum. You don't
Yeah.
personally know an Elmira. Yeah, there's just a lot of people.
I mean, I don't mean to sound rude, Grunthor, but there's a lot of people here, and unless they've come to the forge or like I might have passed them with the church, not really.
Probably not. I may have to speak to Firion.
Okay.
Sorry.
So,
Yeah,
ahead.
probably just a lot of people. Yeah. Are we at home?
at this point, yes. You've traveled
Okay.
to your home. Tell us what your home looks like.
Okay, so I'm terrible at building things. This is gonna be great. So the front of the house is gonna have a kind of like a marbly quartz white. It's like an off cream kind of color. And it's going to have a couple of like indented darker lines that kind of go through it all. You can see there's like a couple of little like flower, what are they called? Like little benches where they put the flowers and like little things that under the windows. There's a couple of them. There's like 2 on the first floor, 2 on the second floor. And there's going to be like a little bit of a gate and a little bit of a pavement walking up to it into a nice wooden oak door.
Hole in the ground because you're a rabbit.
I haven't told them about the basement yet. But yeah, but first, before we do that, alrighty, Grunthor, thank you. And I'm gonna jump down, and I am going to walk up to the gate, and instead of pushing the gate open, I am going to slide a little panel across where the not gate pillar, but like the end of the gate that has like the thing that holds the thing that does the thing that swings it. I'm going to pull that aside, and I'm going to press a couple of buttons, and I'm going to slide it back across, and I'm just going to wait for one of the house staff to get the message, because that's kind of only a me thing. That's how they know that I'm home.
Okay.
Because everybody else is just walking the gate.
It doesn't take very long before a elven man just kind of walks out, dressed very nicely, kind of walks up to the gate. Ah, Mr. Holyway, welcome home. I wasn't sure we'd be I'm sorry, were we expecting you today?
Oh, no, Beryl, it's fine. We were just... A lot has been happening, so, I think for now, I'll say it again for the DM, Beryl.
Writing down.
I think for now we're just going to come in and just rest. Oh, these are my friends. I'm sure we can make proper arrangements.
Of course.
For a little bit.
Any friends of Mr. Holyway's are always welcome here.
Quick question, Beryl. What time is it right now? I haven't been keeping track, if that's okay to ask. And Nozak's gonna start getting really nervous all of a sudden.
What time is what time of the day?
Yeah. So when did we get here?
At this point, it's roughly it's right after, so the sun was kind of setting as you were kind of coming up into it. So the sun is fully set at this point. So it's kind of just after, when you were coming through the market, it would have been like twilight, things transitioning from day sales to maybe some more shady business dealings. At this point, the sun is down.
Yeah.
This time of the year, it's probably almost 8 p.m., I would say.
Awesome. Okay. Is Luca home?
Indeed.
I mean, he should be at this time.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna... guys, I'm gonna go ahead for a second, but Beryl is going to show you inside, and if you need anything, just ask him, okay? And Ozak is still very nervous. He's gonna start walking forwards and then stop. He's gonna turn around and just be like, Grunthor, can you put Nelly on the ground for me?
Oh, no, I was kidding.
Takes 1d4
Dexterity saving throws.
Natural 20 does a flip. So we're like, yes!
Superhero landing.
You wanted me to put the hammer down?
Nozak's going to walk up to Nelly and just kind of grab her by the hand, and I'm going to say, so you remember when I said that I had someone that I wanted you to meet?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to meet him now, and we're going to be good, and as Nozak kind of walks up to the door to open it, can I take the rein a little bit on this one?
Have it. Here's the rein.
So I put it on Duchess. So as Nozak's gonna walk up towards the door, the front door is just gonna swing wide open and smash into the wall, which is going to make Nozak wince a little bit. And what you guys see is a young boy that's about 12 years old with very short, dark hair that just kind of, it's just very short, dark hair, wearing a light green colored tunic with like very faded brown shorts with a new pair of shoes because Nozak spoils his son. And he's just gonna look at Nozak and everybody behind him and just completely disregard everything as he just kind of runs forward and picks up Nozak a little bit and then just shakes him for a few seconds because Luca has been left alone for like 2 months. And yeah, so he's a 12-year-old boy with the light hair, the dark short hair, and he's just absolutely, he does whatever he wants. He speaks his mind. Like, I'm his dad, for fuck's sake. He's got a mouth on him.
He's Hume, to clarify, right?
Yeah, so he is Hume. And yeah, I'm just kind of being shaken by him as all you guys can hear is just language. Just not great language, but just like him screaming, like, why did you leave me here? You didn't say anything, you haven't sent a message, what's going on? And then he's just gonna like drop me and walk back inside. We're like, yep.
Barrel's gonna turn to the rest of the group and say, this is quite customary for their disagreements. No fear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not one to judge.
I probably should have sent a message, shouldn't I? Damn it! I didn't even think I'd still be here. That was everybody meet Luca. That was my son. And
I didn't know you were married, Nozak.
Maybe once, like 500 years ago, I might have met someone, but no. Luca is one of the boys that we kind of helped with the disease that was going around, and I kind of got attached to him when I, learned more about him. He was bright, he was smart, he was very quick-witted, much to my chagrin. But no, he is a good kid. He's just very free-spirited. And Ava, if you remember why I only said to pickpocket a maximum of 5 people in the business district, and I said that I had my own little network, it's because Luca kind of runs what I call the network, what he calls the freedom fighters. So
shit.
They're like their own little network of information. They steal from people, they help with people. I've tried to teach them ethically how to help with business. And
don't worry. I already have 6 ideas. Don't worry. Your son and I are going to be great friends.
Well,
Ava's about to adopt a child.
And yeah, I'm going to turn to Nelly and I'm going to say, well, that was who I wanted you to meet. And if there is anybody I know that could teach you to be a hero and look after yourself and everyone around you, it's probably Luca. So,
Does Luca live here with you?
Yeah, Luca's my son. I kind of adopted him.
I can stay here with you?
If you would like to, we can organize a meeting with a couple of other people as well, like with the sisters in the churches, or with with someone to, if you want to find something that you want to do, we can talk to someone. So we'll go through options for now. You are only young, so I can't do a lot, but I'll do my best to give you the best that I can for right now. But just remember, if that's not with me, I'm still going to look after you, okay? I'm going to make sure you're well taken care of.
She just stands there for a minute, and then she drops down to her knees to get eye level with you, because she's taller than you. And she just gives you a big hug, and just in your ear, she just whispers, "Thank you, Mr. Bunnyman. I don't know what I'd do without you."
I'm never correct. That's way too cute. Yes. So, Welcome home to my house and Drew's, my name's Novak. It's nice to meet you all.
I think we're going to end it there tonight. So, I think that's a good place to end it. Great. Welcome to Lindblum, everyone. Welcome to the heart of the Empire. And welcome to Nozak's home. And as a DM, I don't know why I didn't think about that. Why I have a list of ends. I had a huge list. And then you're like, I'll take them home. I'm like, oh, yeah. Duh.
Yeah, well, fantastic. Don't worry, those ends I can steal from.
They're still there for world building. So, all right.
We'll go to the end eventually.
I'm sure you will. So, thank you all for watching. This was episode 12, arriving in Lindblum. I think things are about to get very interesting. There are some things I think that are going to go down in Lindblum. We'll see what happens, but
oh Lord,
I'm excited. Well, there's stuff brewing. I think it's going to be fun. So for me, anyway, I don't know what you all think.
Now.
Well, with that, thank you all for watching. Those of you that tuned in live, thank you all that are watching on YouTube, and we can't wait to see you next week. Well, I guess you see us. So, lally ho, friends.